Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval Creed. Today we will be reviewing the second aircraft layout for Furious aircraft carrier in the British Tech Tree line. Yeah, the ship itself stays the same, still the piece of trash I think she is. Well, the ship itself isn't bad, so I guess I shouldn't hate on her too much. Actually, I was kind of surprised yesterday how much damage those secondaries were actually doing on that Nuremberg. Um, so secondary brawling might be kind of fun. However, I still do not recommend it at all. So yesterday we had one fighter squadron, one torpedo bomber squadron, and two dive bomber squadrons. And today we have two fighter squadrons, one torpedo bomber squadron, and one dive bomber squadron. So just a little bit different, more kind of offensive than anything. Um, Honestly though, I didn't really do well with the ships yesterday with the full strike layout or the aircraft, and so I can only imagine what this game will be with even more limited options. So, without further ado, let's toss her into a game and see what we can do today. Alright, and here ourselves a game. One carrier, four battleships, and three destroyers, so no cruisers at all, which is quite interesting. However, there is a Dunkirk, so AA power is kind of strong on that side. Bayerns have good long-range AA, Normandy has practically nothing at all, and Icarus is nothing, and Anshan actually has quite a bit of AA. If you actually look at its AA stats, it's quite impressive. I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head right now, but I do remember when I was comparing it to other Tier 6 matchmaking destroyers, it had the most out of all of them, by quite a considerable amount. So we kind of want to stay away from the Anshan as well, believe it or not. A few things before we get going. I have been working on a new thing for my YouTube channel. If you haven't noticed already, you can go down below to playlists and you can see all the combinations of videos that are separated into their own playlists. So, for example, all Japanese cruisers are in a Japanese cruiser playlist. All American battleships are in a American battleship playlist, and so on and so on. So if you only want to watch part of my videos or a certain group to see what you can do better, then it's split up easier for you. And I will be updating that as we add more videos onto my channel. I am running out of ships soon. There's only a few more British carriers, even if we are doing 2 videos of them each. But I do have plans for those. I'm trying to actually get everything over here. I'm not sure why it's not working. Oh, of course we go over the Anshan. There we go. Alright, so enough about the videos right now. Just know that there is further content coming up, and some of it you may actually quite like. We will be going over that when we get there, though. First, we have to finish up the British carriers. I have to do a review on Trafalgar, since I now have her. And then we have a couple other things to do. Alright, so enough of that. Right now I need to focus on the game. As of right now, we have taken out an entire fighter squadron. We're working on torpedo bombers. And we're trying to see if we can get a strike in on this Bayern. And honestly, I really don't think this is going to be a good layout for this ship. I have to see if ramming the Icarus will slow down the Bayern, but I don't think it will. Oh, she's not even going to hit anyways. Alright, so let's see how that was. That was actually a pretty good drop. And then we got some bomb hits as well. Considering the torpedoes started a flooding, the Byron's repair was activated, so that's why we didn't get any fires. But that's fine. We're not too worried about that right now. Where is my ship? Let's head this way. And then we just have to wait for our aircraft to reload. Honestly, I think the first group is going to be better. This ship is not going to be a fighter-heavy ship at any point. Yes, you can equip 10 fighters and 2 squadrons, but even then, that's at such an extreme disadvantage to your strike capability. It's kind of like the second layout for Taiho with the 4 fighter groups. If you have nothing for your fighters to do, they're pretty much worthless at that point. And you can use them as anti-aircraft bait to try and decrease the amount of aircraft you lose. But at this tier, there's only a handful of ships that really have the ability to actually knock down your aircraft. So it doesn't really work at this tier. So I'm thinking that the 2 dive bomber groups, which is the one that the bot carrier has, is going to be the most effective one. All right, we're trying to scatter these groups as much as we can. And it looks like we're going to get into a dogfight with the fighters right now. There we go. There we go. Alright, strike aircraft are back out, so let's see what we can do. Kind of want to... Well, the Dunkirk is separating herself from the rest of this major blob, so that actually helps us a bit. Maybe we can get another strike in on some of these battleships. I thought about going for the carrier, but we can go for her anytime we want. We're going to keep moving a little bit more. Alright, so I think we're going to torpedo the Bayern on the left and dive bomb the Bayern at the top. Gives us a little bit of a spread of damage here. Let's see if that's any good. Alright, that's actually pretty decent. Hey, we got 2 fires. We got some torpedo hits. Might as well just return the fighters at this point. Either they've been shot down, or they don't have enough ammo. And autopilot doesn't want to work. Such fun. I'm not quite sure why it works at one point and then it doesn't work the next. I don't know if that's just a bug or if that's just something that the game implements. I don't know. Alright. We can wait to launch our aircraft here in a minute. We're actually losing this game. Surprise, surprise. Alright, so are we going to have to carry again? Is this Byron still burning? Maybe we can kill it. Nope, she just put the fires out, just as I said that. No matter. I don't know what I'm going to do against these destroyers, though. I can barely hit battleships. But I think we can try and cap the base, maybe. And then we are going to bring out our fighters to mainly protect ourselves at this point, since we're the closest to the carrier once this Byron goes down. Even though she is pretty safe right now. But still. I do have to play defensively a little bit right now. Alright, so let's see if we can finish off the bottommost Bayern with our torpedo bombers, or at least damage her more. And then we have our dive bombers for this Bayern again, since we seem to be doing really well with those today. There we go, there goes 1, and there goes 2. Awesome, double strike. Let's go. Fighters. Let's see. I could try and protect this Bayern, but that Dunkirk is really, really close. But that's also the best chance that we have to attack that Bayern, or the Dunkirk. So maybe I should at least try. We do still have 5 spare fighters. Alright, so we scattered the first group. Time to scatter the second group. We're capping the base. I'd rather have a victory than a defeat, so if I have to cap the base to win, even though it will be kind of boring, I'll take it. Alright, scattering the torpedo bombers as best as we can. Well, there is only a few ships left. Maybe I can do it. It really depends on how much damage this Dunkirk gets. If this Dunkirk is full health, I'm going to have to cap. Because I highly doubt that I'll be able to do enough damage to that ship to actually sink it. But we're going to try. Alright, so I'm actually going to use my fighters to surround my torpedo bombers as fighter bait. At least against this Dunkirk. And then we can do that with our dive bombers too. If she survives, which I think she will, honestly. Alright, so that one should be good right there. We lost squad 2, but we still... Oh, and she moved and I didn't pay attention. Alright, I was too busy looking at my fighters. Oh well. Alright, so we're still in the base, which is fine. Well, actually, we should probably not get out of the base. Actually, no, I feel like I could win this now. So I'm going to get out of the base here. I'm going to stop capping. Alright, so let's have our fighters surround squad 3 again for our torpedo bombers. And have them come back down to work on this Dunkirk. And then we can bring our own dive bombers down here for the Furious, which is going to actually try and cap us out. Ooh, can we keep our... Yeah, we're going to keep our torpedo bombers because I think the Normandy can finish her off. There we go. Awesome. And we lost one entire fighter squadron right now, but that's fine. We're going to try and scatter these dive bombers first. Actually, can we take down these torpedo bombers? Because those are going to do the most damage, I feel. Alright, now work on those. My torpedo bomber is going to attack the Furious here. Alright, dive bombers. We got ourselves some torpedo hits. And let's see if we can finish her off. Good strike. And 2 fires. And that should honestly be her sunk, but we shall see. Ironically, we're actually still capping the base. Oh, and the Normandy gets the kill. Alright, that's fine. Alright, so we finally have a win in this ship. Not with the air group that I thought we would get it with, but I'm not complaining. We still were able to manage 126,000 damage, 2 ships sunk, 15 torpedo hits, 20 bomb hits, 22 aircraft shot down, 6 fires, 5 floodings, 2 defended caps for 4,500 base XP, and exactly 96,000 credits. That's interesting. 16,000 damage in fires and floodings, 81,000 damage in torpedoes, and 28,000 damage in bombs. I guess if you use your fighters as anti-aircraft bait like I was just using against the Dunkirk, this would be a really interesting setup. You would at least be able to get your strike package through the A defense. So maybe it's not as terrible as I once thought. So I don't know. There's really no real difference between these two besides you lose one squadron and you gain it in another area. So either you go with more dive bombers, which are really, really good, or you get more fighters, which you can use to protect your torpedo bombers and dive bombers. So it's really up to how your playstyle is, what you think is best. I guess the second layout with the double fighters gives you a little bit more advantage in air superiority versus the first layout. So maybe the second one would be the best one, honestly. It's hard to tell. There's really not that many options for this carrier. She's very limited in her what she can do. That being said, though, that does conclude our final video on Furious. Tomorrow we'll be starting to look at the big boys, starting with Illustrious. And we will have 2 videos on her, and she is one of the interesting carriers. And we have many more to go in regards to interesting carriers. But I'll explain what I mean tomorrow when we go over this beauty of a ship. So thank you for watching. If you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe, and join me tomorrow for further content in the form of our first game in Illustrious. So again, thank you and take care.